Alright, welcome to the Turks and Cacos. We are in the TBM today. We are flying to Anguilla. Providenciales traffic, TBM 90261 Whiskey, taxiing to runway 10 via taxiway Golf, Providenciales. We have got our flight plan loaded. We are flying the Grand Turk 1 departure, which so far is my favorite departure name. I like that one. Grand Turk. That sounds great. Just sounds regal. Somebody's probably going to point out the fact that it's like something bad. But anyway, there's unfortunately no there's unfortunately no pilot paying attention to this airplane. But there's unfortunately no airport available here, which I find somewhat surprising because you'd figure this airport would be kind of I don't know, one that might get some attention, but I guess not. So, let's get ready for takeoff here. Let's put down the takeoff flaps. We are going high today, 29,000 feet. So I am going to ratchet up the autopilot right to 29,000. Unfortunately, the only way to do this is to tire my finger out. By rolling the mouse wheel. I can't figure out, maybe somebody can tell me. I can't quite figure out how to get the let's put it for 17 right now. We'll worry about the rest in this once we're airborne. I can't quite figure out how to get the scroll in my my Honeycomb Bravo to work, the increase decrease. So that plane just took off and is gone. There's no incoming traffic, so I think we're safe to back taxi here. I don't think we even really need to. So let's get the Grand Turk departure here, and we can actually pull up. Let's go charts. Departure Grand Turk. So there's the Grand Turk departure. So climbing a heading of 104 to Westna at or above 640 feet. Right direct Zovit at or above 1500, then direct Grand Turk VOR. Alright, dudes. So climb straight ahead at 104, and then direct the VOR. So let's go flying. Providenciales traffic, TBM 90261 Whiskey, taking off runway 10, departure to the east. Providenciales. Yeah, Grand Turk. Alright, so flaps are set. Altimeter is set. Let's turn our lights on. For some reason, the lights don't seem to really work either. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number. Alright, we're ready to rumble here. Takeoff power coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. 60 knots. 80 knots, cross check. 90 and rotate. Alright, positive rate. Gears coming up. 115 knots. Bring the flaps up. And let's make sure we're climbing here. We always need a little bit of left aileron trim. And here is Providenciales and the Turks and Cacos. And this is such a beautiful place. Which again is why I'm surprised it's not getting any flight simulator love, but it's not. Maybe somebody out there can... You're kidding me. Oh, yeah, you're kidding me is right. I'll explain that comment in a second. Bring the power back to 90 for the torque. Alright, let's go flight director on nav mode. Flight level change and engage the autopilot. So the reason I just said you've got to be kidding me is because my last flight ended with a engine failure, which was really pretty weird. You can see here just how beautiful the waters are. In the Turks and Cacos. There's the airport. It's just gorgeous, and Flight Simulator, as always, doing a tremendous job with the visuals. All right, so we're climbing at 154 knots. Flight level change mode, autopilot, and yaw dampener are on. Flight management system is controlling the whole ball of wax. So, like I was saying, my last flight ended conspicuously. I was flying from where was I flying from? Let's turn the oxygen on, make sure we can breathe. Let's make sure the cabin is pressurizing. It is. Leave it set to auto. Alright, everything looking good. I was flying from Piarco, Trinidad, to Panama City, Panama. And I was flying through Venezuela. Flying over Venezuela. And I got some funky noises. See, this is the stuff that's just awesome in Flight Sim. This is just awesome that they've got all this done. Anyway, I got some funky noises. Got an oil pressure light, and boom. This engine in this airplane is the PT6. Same engine you have in the Pilatus PC-12, it's the same engine you've got in the Grand Caravan, the Cessna Grand Caravan. And it is pretty much known as being bulletproof. I mean, I'm eastbound, so I gotta go odd altitude, so we're going 29,000. And it wasn't bulletproof. It was not bulletproof on this particular occasion. Gosh, I'm just blown away by the views here in the Turks and Cacos. Just gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, it's not unusual for flight sim to have like in close these water maskings, but I mean, look at all this. It's just amazing. Look at this. I mean, this is just stunning. It is just stunning. It's not even like generic. Like, look at this. It's got all these different. Man, this is beautiful. But anyway, so my engine quit, and I treated it like a real emergency, and was fortunate enough to find a hard surface runway and make a landing. It was really pretty interesting, actually, treating it as a real emergency, because you know, you've got to react in real time and kind of figure out what is going on and what you want to do. I mean, you get lulled into a false sense of security even flying a simulator, because, I mean, what's going to happen, right? And I've never experienced an emergency in a simulator, in any simulator. I've created them. I've never had one just randomly happen. And it was interesting. It really was, because, you know, I had to make my decision. Fortunately, and one of the things that I learned is that really, even I mean, you always want to have as much altitude underneath you as you can get, because I was at 20,000 feet because I was just kind of feeling lazy, I guess, and I didn't really feel like climbing much higher than that. I didn't seem to need to. There was the winds at 20,000 feet were good, and I just thought, you know, there's just no reason, really. Look at that. I mean, that is just amazing. And I was fortunate to be able to get to be able to find a good spot, good airport. It's 5,000-foot runway. And I was able to get the airplane on the ground, but at the same time, that extra 8,000 feet that I could have had certainly would have helped, at least in what my instructor, the professor emeritus, would call the pucker factor, which is when your butt puckers up when your engine quits or starts making funny noises. And look at this. I wonder if these are people's homes that have requested anonymity, so to speak. That's interesting. Look at that. This is clearly all blocked out. So I'm guessing some poor people live here, right? That's really kind of interesting. Because you can be, you can request being blocked out of these maps. At least in Europe you can be. In the United States I don't think you can, but... Alright, let's see what's going on here. Bring up the power just a little bit. I'll keep it 90 in the climb. And what is this? I'm looking at the charts. Matthewtown, Anguilla Island. I'm assuming that's in the Bahamas. There's a restricted area, which is aviation speak for "you're not welcome here." And I just kind of wonder what is so important on a small island in the middle of the Bahamas. My guess is, again, poor people, right? Just kidding. I wonder why. I wonder why being fabulously wealthy just can't be enough. I mean, I suppose I can understand wanting to be left alone, but no aviation authority is going to put a restricted airspace over the top of my house. There's an airport down there. I guess I'm just not that important, which is fine with me, by the way. Gosh, look at this. I mean, it really is stunning. I can't even imagine what it must look like in real life. I mean, I've seen videos of it. I've seen similar things with my own eyes. And those of you who are from regions like this, where, like those of you who are from the Caribbean or have been to the Caribbean, and you know that these colors, you can't even describe them. I mean, you literally just can't even describe them. You can't picture these colors in your mind adequately until you've actually seen them. So putt. So we're climbing through flight level 250. As you can see, we are on the Grand Turk departure. Pressure is good, oil pressure is good, oil temperature is good. Volts and amps are good. I'm certainly checking everything now. I wasn't checking everything before, necessarily. So, so much for my theory that that these planes are idiot-proof. This is about as simple to fly, and actually, this is a good kind of point of discussion. Something I've always thought is this plane is about as easy to fly, as easy to start, as easy to fly as a Cessna 152. It really is. Probably easier to fly than a Piper Cherokee, than the Piper Cherokee that I fly in real life. The Cherokee I fly in real life doesn't take effort to get it started, but it certainly, I mean, takes a checklist. I mean, you really gotta kind of be organized. Whereas this thing, I mean, you just flip the power on, put the fuel on, hit the ignition button. I mean, it's really pretty much that easy. And until my engine failure earlier, and I was, you know, thinking about how simple these planes are to, this plane is to fly. Planes can be easy to fly. I referred to this as being idiot-proof, but the problem is they're easy to fly when everything's working as it should. That's when they're easy to fly. When something goes wrong, all of a sudden it becomes not so easy to fly, and that's really the case with a lot of airplanes. Most pilots are pretty useful, you know, if everything's going okay. When something goes wrong, that's when you really need somebody who's got who's got themselves together. All right, let's go home and map. You know, that's when the rubber meets the road. So most of the time when you're, you know, like I said, most pilots are pretty serviceable on their own, but it's just when something goes wrong, when you want somebody in the cockpit who's smarter than the average bear. So we're on our way to Princess. No, actually not. We're not on our way to Princess Juliana. We are on our way to Anguilla. Because why wouldn't we be? Let's see here. So this is our flight plan. This is us right here, going here kind of along the Dominican coast, past Puerto Rico through the Virgin Islands, and home sweet home. This is the stock TBM, and it is This is the working title G3000 mod for the avionics, and it's just an amazing. The stock G3000 is fine. I mean, it's pretty as far as avionics packages go. It's pretty cool. The working title G3000 upgrade is phenomenal, and I'm you know, this is more like what the actual thing is, and it's just awesome. All the, you know, with the charts, you can get the Navigraph charts. I got my Jeppesen charts right here. Much better flight planning. I don't know what a standby flight plan would be for. Maybe if you're worried things aren't going to work out. But and the other cool thing, like, you can get the charts. You can get the chart on one side and your map on the other. Just looking through all this different stuff here. Map settings left. Is there map settings right? That would be really cool if I could change that. Look at that. Let's go map settings here. There we go, look at that. Look at that. Now, what I've got, I mean, check that out. How amazing is this? Let me move this yoke here for a second. So, now when we're flying an approach, we can have our flight plan here. Got this little map. I'm not really quite sure how much use it is, but you've got, you know, your full, obviously your primary flight display with all this fun business over here. Forgot to turn my timer on again. And then you've got the chart here on this side and your map on this side. And that is amazing. That is just amazing. So this is seriously just an amazing system. So we've got an hour and 20 minutes to go. Really have about an hour to go until I need to start paying attention again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do something constructive. Really nothing to look at besides the you can see, you'll be able to see a little bit of the Dominican Republic, but not a whole lot. So really what I'm going to do is just let's get our all the important information in the screen here with a good view. Freeze it. So I think I'm just going to leave it right there and let you enjoy the clouds as we fly along. I was originally only going to do like a startup video, but why not? I mean, we'll do a full flight. And hopefully this engine is in a good mood. Burning 55 gallons an hour, got 260 gallons in the tanks, so we're good to go there. So enjoy the view for a little bit, and I'll be back in a little while, and we'll make our approach and landing here. Alright, welcome back. To me, anyway. I'm sure nobody watched the last hour of this. But, we are... What are we doing? We're having a good time is what we're doing. So, we're coming up... we're just past, Puerto Rico. Just past Jets intersection. Is that Culebra? I think it is. Culebra is one of my. Yeah, that's Puerto Rico right there. That's Culebra, and that's Vieques. Culebra is one of my favorite little islands. As a matter of fact, you know what? We should take this TBM into Culebra, because one of the things that I'm so fascinated with this TBM is that you can fly it like a Cherokee, and I mean it's basically like a light jet at altitude, and like a Cherokee under 5,000 feet. It's just an amazing airplane, and I guarantee you we can get that in there and down easily in Culebra, and that's a relatively small runway. Let's see here. It is the runway at Culebra is 2,600 feet. Easy, we can get that down there. 2,600 feet, and it's got a tricky little. Approach, because you got to come through this slot, this kind of V in a hill, and it's a fun little approach. At least I consider it fun. So let's see here. I guess, do we have everything set up? I don't think. I think in my preparations to approach the airport, I did not load the approach, so now one of the things that we need to do is, first of all, TNCM tower. Okay, so we've got a controller at Juliana. I don't think that affects us at Anguilla. I don't think the controller in St. Martin is particularly interested in us. I might be wrong. I'll call him up when we get over there. ATIS information alpha. Keep hitting the yoke, but we shouldn't do that. Wind is 080 at 9 knots. Few clouds at 1800. Altimeter doesn't give us the altimeter. Alright. This guy's really cool. Muhammad is a controller that you will often find in Juliana, and he's a good sort. He's a good controller. So if he's got control of 50 nautical miles, he has certainly got control of us. So let's go over to, well, why don't I do this here so you guys can see too. Get rid of this here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to come back here. We're going to go to charts. And we're going to open this up. And then we're going to go back and we're going to go half. And now we've got our map and we've got our chart, which is pretty darn cool. We're buzzing along right now, by the way, at 327 knots, almost 340 knots at ground speed, which is why I say this thing is pretty remarkable. One other thing I just noticed, this is a feature of this G3000 working title. Let's say, I mean, I can only imagine this is what this is for. Like if you're coming along here and, you know, let's say you need to get a heading to get around a cloud, or you get around a buildup of, you know, cumulus buildup of something. You can say to the controller, yeah, I need heading of 150 or 20 miles or whatever. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Anyway, now let's zoom right in here. I'm going to keep this in view so that if anything goes haywire with my airplane, I'll be aware of it. Alright, so, and actually, of course, what I realize is that I need to go over here, punch in, and then see, this is the really cool part, is that I can zoom in. Am I zooming in or out? I'm zooming in, okay. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I had it just where I wanted, and then I moved it. Alright, Slugo. Alright. So this is the, let's have a look here. Crook is kind of over here, so Crook I would imagine is up here. Maybe Crook would be a good place to start this approach. Crook is an initial approach fix, pick it up. Let's see. Yeah, maybe Crook would be perfect actually. So then we'll be coming along this way. Come down here, intercept Crook, right turn, left turn, and that put us on a 10-mile final. Not a bad plan. Alright, so let's see what we can do about creating this goal that we have in life. And we just flew over the British Virgin Islands. Let's have a look outside. Yeah, literally just flew over the British Virgin Islands. This is going to be That's St. Thomas back there. And this is going to be Beef Island right down here. It's going to be an airport. I'm fairly sure anyway. Cool view, huh? Or maybe I'm one island too far. No, I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, I'm one island too far. I'm gonna need to start paying attention to what's going on here. I got about 77 nautical miles to go. 30,000. I need to get down to 1760 at Crook. So call it 2,000. So 27,000 times 3 is 76. So if we start now, yeah. Let's start getting ourselves, no, let's go the other way. Let's start getting ourselves, let's pull the power back here to, and let's go vertical speed mode. Let's go down about 1,500 feet a minute. That'll get us started anyway. And I'll set this at about, I'll set this for 5,000. We can bring it down as need be. One thing I really like about the jet, about the CRJ is that that banana it's got that shows you when you're going to reach your. The heck was that? You guys see that? And like there was a noise there too. Did you hear that? This is a weird day. I gotta tell you. Could have been a bird. It could not have been a bird at 27,000 feet. But I'm fairly certain I just hit something. I mean. There was a noise there. Like, I got some turbulence. I don't know what I might have gotten turbulence off of. There's nothing here. And then there's that bang sound. Jeez. Maybe not my day, I guess. I don't know. Alright, we got... We gotta bring the power right back here and increase our vertical speed. I'll bring the power right back. Alright, let's load our procedure here. Approach, transition, crook. Let's load it. Now let's go Yeah, you can see we'll come right in here, crook, and then a right turn, and then in, which is what we'd planned. That's perfect. Alright, so I guess let's hope we don't hit anything else on this flight. What a day. So 50 nautical miles from Anguilla. $50 nautical miles from Anguilla. Let's get an altimeter setting here. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say 2.9 or 9 or 4. Ah, it's 2.9 or 9 or 7. Okay, it's been 2.9 or 9 or 4 like everywhere I've been today. As you can see, we're starting to settle into that. Starting to settle into that Caribbean evening with these gorgeous colors. Let's see, 118.7. I'm going to put that in the backup frequency for the nav. I'm gonna make up my own squawk code. I like 4643. It just makes me feel good. All right, enter. And 118.7 in the backup. And I'm actually going to put 118.7 in COM 2 as well. And what I'll do is I'm going to monitor 1 and 2. So I'm monitoring both 122.8 and 118.7. So I'm monitoring Unicom and... Actually, it's not Unicom, it's CTAF. I'm going to be monitoring CTAF and... and what's the word I'm looking for? Tower. Tower at St. Martin. And what is the difference between CTAF and Unicom? One might ask. One probably wouldn't ask, but if one were to ask, what is the difference between CTAF and Unicom? The difference is on Unicom you're broadcasting with the expectation of getting an answer, as opposed to on CTAF, where you're just broadcasting in the blind without expecting to receive a response. CTAF is short for Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. Not sure what Unicom stands for, to be honest with you. So I won't pretend to be smart. Alright, so we are about 25 miles from Crook. You can see Anguilla right there in the distance now. Slowing down. Transition level is flight level 065. See transition level versus transition altitude. Transition level is for landing. That's how I remember it. Okay, so Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport. Final approach course 105. Glide slope intercept 1,760 feet. It's an LNAV VNAV approach. Airport elevation 124 feet. Missed approach is climb straight ahead to 1,000. Then a climbing left turn to Crook and hold. Da 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 da. So we're coming here. We're gonna get to Crook. Take a right. 6 miles and heading on 195. Then make a left inbound on the final approach course on 105 for runway 11. We cross Crook at 1760. Maintain 1760 here at PF11I, whatever that is all about. And you can begin your descent at PF11F. This is it's an LNAV VNAV approach. We're going to be doing it in category A, so 520 feet is our minimums. Ground speed, so the descent angle is 3 degrees, which is normal, so 90 knots, about 478 feet. About 450 to 500 feet a minute is what we want our descent to be. There's a PAPI on the left side of the runway. That's a precision approach path indicator. It's those red and white lights. And then again, the missed approach, climb to 1,000 feet, left turn to Crook. So this is going to be the first time I'm going to be flying with these two panels open, and it just makes perfect sense. So we're 17 miles from Crook. We
Transition altitude. Nearest altimeter 1015.
We are going to be able to make more. Let's go down to 1,800 feet. Start slowing down. I don't want to slow down too much, though, do we? $15 miles from Crook. Actually, I wouldn't mind settling in at 3,000. Put it at 2,700. And really, I actually would like to be at 3,000, but let's go flight level change here to 3,000 feet. I don't like being too close to the water if I don't have to be. I've got to remember this airplane gets down incredibly well. Look at that. Look at that. This airplane gets down very well. And there's got to be a James Brown joke in there somewhere. Alright, so 3,000 feet. We've got Crook, and then we've got... I'm going to put this on my iPad in front of me. Just so I don't goof this up. Alright, so... And then we got the plane coming in. Alright, we're 10 miles from Crook. Buzzing right along here. Let's start slowing down. Let's see if Tower wants to talk to us here. Juliana Tower, good evening. TBM 90261 Whiskey. Ah, look at that, he's gone. Alright, never mind. So, 122.8. CJ Lloyd traffic, TBM 90261 Whiskey is about 15 miles to the west, inbound, full stop, runway 11, CJ Lloyd. Alright, now we do want to come down to 1,800. some speed. Let's get down here. So, just want to adjust my seating position here. I'm going to turn the panel lights on. We'll turn them down, but I do want them on for this evening approach. So, let us do something smart. Procedure. Yeah, are we already... Okay. Approach is active. Let's go into approach mode. Coming down to 1,800 feet. And once we hit Crook, we're going to make a right turn. We got 6, that's going to be 6 nautical miles until we get to the intermediate fix of PF11I. And I'm going to bring some power back now. Should probably put the bank button on so it does half turns, but this is a cool little island. I forget the name of this island. I'm sure Zarnell will tell me. Alright, let's put in approach flaps. That is what my instructor, the Professor Emeritus Luigi J. Bottini, would call approach flaps. Come on, mouse, go away. And approach flaps are just good to stabilize you. How beautiful is this? Alright, 150 knots. Now, I'm going to put the altitude select to, I want to put it to 3,000 feet. I just came up with an idea, which is probably a bad thing to be doing on an approach, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to use vertical speed mode. Look at this. Put the gear down. CJ Lloyd traffic, TBM 90261 Whiskey is turning a 10-mile final runway 11, CJ Lloyd. And I got the gear down. Which is going to help slow me down. I got one more notch to go of flaps. Which is fine. So adjust my visual position here. Alright, now what I'm going to do is 3 miles from the final approach fix, I'm going to go into, I'm going to put the flaps in. in a second here if I don't stall the airplane first. Pay attention to your airspeed. Mind thy airspeed. That's another thing that Luigi would always tell me. I'm looking at the glide slope. When it's the airspeed, that's what's going to keep me in the sky. So a little more juice here. And once we hit this final approach fix, I'm going to go vertical speed mode down 500 feet a minute. And that should, I'll go down 400 feet a minute. That should do a darn good job of keeping me on, right about on glide slope. Anguilla traffic, TBM 90261 Whiskey, 5 mile final runway 11, Anguilla. So, let's see if it, I don't think it's gonna go. Maybe it will go. Maybe it will intercept the glide slope. Let's have a look and see. It's an RNAV glide slope, it might do it. About 4/10. And it does, look at that. Bring the power right back to 23. Look at that. "23" on the power, on the torque. It's going to give us right about 85-ish knots. And decision height is 520 feet, so 1520 for 520. Gears down, flaps are down. Where's Meads Bay? Ah, I missed it. Alright, that's okay. See, there's 85 knots, that's perfect. 1320 for 520. On glide slope. On airspeed. $12.20 for 520. I keep calling out that 520 because that's my, well, technically it's my, I guess it is my decision height. Sailboat down there. 1020 to 5 for 520. 500 to go for minimums. $9.20 for 520. I'll give just a little bit of power here. $8.20 for 520. $7.20 for 520. Alright, 100 to go. We'll take it from here. Alright, minimums continuing. Airspeed is good. Not too bad on glide slope. No. little bit flat. It's always kind of chunky coming in here. And this is really not how you want to do it, getting this low. So I am not entirely pleased with my own performance on this one. Power coming back. Airspeed is alright. Alright. Power is out. That was alright. That was a bit of a skidding landing there. It was alright. Approach was okay, landing was okay, but you know what? They can't always be perfect. And you aren't clear of the runway until you are all the way across this line. Anguilla traffic, TBM 90261 Whiskey is clear of the runway, Anguilla. And because this is the greatest airport in the world, we're going to come right down here and park up front. Because that's how we roll. What's up, CJ4? And there it is, home sweet home, Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport. This is a pay-wear scenery, and you want a true Caribbean aviation enthusiast until you've purchased this scenery. So I encourage you to go do so. You can buy it at Sim Market, or you can Google it. Brake is on. Let's put this over to the right side and slide it back to cutoff. And let's turn the AP off. Let's turn everything off. Yeah. And we'll turn the GPU, the electrical off. And we'll come outside and we will take a look here. I forgot to put my flaps up. It's embarrassing. Take a look here at Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport. SLH simulations, I believe. But if you just Google Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport Microsoft Flight Simulator, or you can get it on simmarket.com. And you aren't a true aviation enthusiast for the Caribbean unless you have this scenery. It's awesome. It is an exact replica of Anguilla. So I hope you guys enjoyed that nice long flight, and I will see you next time.